You've got 3/4 of an A4 page there you could have used.
Hello out there in internet land. This is episode 16 of the F1 Chat. This is the mid-season special. Woo!
Yeah.
Mid-season special. It's Johnny's happy time of the year.
Happy because at lunchtime today I finished my homework.
Did the 11th hour cram.
The 11 and a half hour cram, yeah. 11 hours and 59 minutes. We're here. We're
See, I
done.
had mine planned out a couple of months ago.
I had to move house. I had all this shit on.
Oh, whinge fucking whinge.
I had to get drunk lots of times. My friends forced me to go to the pub.
Don't you hate it when they do that?
I hate it when they twist my rubber arm and I suddenly
It gets me all the time.
6 schooners deep at the pub. How dare they?
Right, well, sitting to my left is a man who, well, he's a bit baffled by what the fuck Zach Brown is doing. That's JB.
Yeah. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know. I don't know, but let's try and get to the bottom of it, boys, because...
Okay, and then sitting to my right is a man who's sitting there going, I wish Williams had this kind of attention.
Yeah.
It's Longhorn.
Just any attention, please.
He's disappointed because he's like, I thought we were getting Piastri.
I did. For a couple of weeks there, I got real excited.
I'm just going to do a heads up as well. At various points, my voice might give out because I'm getting over the flu. So at various points, you'll hear me stop and take a big gulp of something or something. So apologies in advance. If you don't like it, well, jog on. Well, we're going to start with the news. And
oh my goodness.
look, we could cover the other news items first, but
Nah, let's get straight into it.
let's go straight for the jugular here. So I've actually printed out. I sat here and I typed it out as best I could.
In the world's smallest print.
I can read it.
That's okay.
I even color coded it according to team.
You've got 3/4 of an A4 page there you could have used.
Yeah, well, I printed it. I didn't realize how big the font was.
It's
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Oh, you're definitely
shut up.
wearing glasses, aren't you?
Shut up. I got a spare pair of glasses. Right, so this madness started on what I believe is the 28th of July when Sebastian Vettel announces his retirement at the end of the 2022 F1 season. Fast forward to the day after the Hungarian F1, which was the 1st of August. And I know it was the 1st of August because Rush Day.
Which we didn't watch.
I did, just not that day.
I'm just going to have to go back and watch it retrospectively.
Oh darn, oh phooey.
It's one of my favourite movies anyway, so it's no biggie.
So, we were watching the replay of the Hungarian F1 when it broke.
Yes, we were. We had breaking news, didn't we?
That Fernando Alonso had signed a 2-year deal with Aston Martin, leaving Alpine F1 at the end of 2022. I'm going to say this before I even get any further into it. I think that's a stupid fucking decision.
Yeah.
Alonso
over
is
that.
past his prime, and I think the only reason why Aston Martin have signed him is because they want a world champion on their books for sponsors.
In the space of half an hour, we completely debunked that move.
Yeah.
We went from loving that move to talking about it and wait a minute.
Hang on.
This is a bad move on both parts.
So, on the next day, which I think might have still been the 1st of August in Europe, it was the 2nd of August here for sure, Alpine announces that Oscar Piastri will be driving for Alpine. Alpine announces Oscar Piastri will be driving for Alpine in 2023. About 2 hours after that, Oscar Piastri puts up on social media saying, this is news to me, I haven't signed anything and I'm not driving for Alpine in 2023. And then rumours start swirling around that Oscar Piastri is replacing Daniel Ricciardo at McLaren in 2023. Despite the fact that Daniel Ricciardo is the one with the get-out clause in the contract.
That's the part I still don't get.
He has the option for 2023.
He has the option for 2023, not McLaren.
Yeah. Alpine boss Otmar Zafnauer, Mr. fucking Ray Martin, Mr. Current Affairs, announces that Alpine will be taking Oscar Piastri to court for money spent training Piastri. What the fuck?
They believe that he's still contractually blinded to Alpine.
Now, I'm going to leave the last little wrinkle about this story until a few seconds. Because
You got the coughs and splutters happening, my friend.
no, that too, but so the rumor is that McLaren is going to buy Ricciardo out of his contract.
$30 million.
$30 million to buy him out of his contract. Am I the only person who's sitting here going, why doesn't McLaren say, okay, all right, we want Piastri, and Otmar Zafnauer go, okay, you want Piastri, we need a driver, we'll take Ricciardo, but you guys, a.k.a. Zach Brown and McLaren, have to pay Ricciardo's contract for a year.
Yeah, that's what I would be doing if I was Alpine.
Because Alpine is still convinced that they have a contract with Piastri.
But here's the thing about Piastri's contract is that it said, apparently, this is the rumour, it said that they had to find him a seat in F1 by July 31st, or he was free to shop around.
Yep. And allegedly the Alonso deal broke on the 1st.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was too late by then.
Yes.
But
So really, Alpine is the ones at fault here.
yeah, Alpine should have announced it. Yeah, I guess it's Alpine's fault, isn't it?
Alpine should have never have been looking to sign for... What's happened is they're looking to sign Fernando Alonso for another year, forgetting this obvious thing in the contract that they have to actually give Piastri the seat, find him a seat by that date, or he shops around. And in the background, Piastri knows they're trying to sign Alonso for another year, so he's gone, well, I'll shop around then, because clearly I'm not going to have the seat.
Yeah, with his manager, Mark Webber,
Yeah,
who's like friends with Daniel Ricciardo, obviously.
yeah.
I mean, and Zach Brown's got exactly what he fucking wanted. He's been overpaying Ricciardo for 2 years almost and not getting the results back. And remember a few podcasts ago when I brought up the whole, when NRL coaches have full support of the board, it usually means they're about to get the axe.
Yeah,
And I said at the time, it feels like Daniel Ricciardo's got full support of the board.
yeah.
I didn't think McLaren had an option to off him.
Well, they didn't.
They don't.
They still don't now. That's what I... But
They just think they can force him out somehow.
the problem is Ricciardo seems pretty happy, and I'd be happy with $30 million. But he seems quite... If McLaren want to buy him out, he's not going to stand in their way.
He wants to go.
He might have come to the realization that Zach Brown doesn't want him there.
Yeah, well, of course. Of course. I mean,
Yeah.
if I'm Daniel Ricciardo, I'm saying, yeah, pay me out. But I'd be now trying to find myself that other seat. I mean, I would be talking to Alpine straight away.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
and if I'm Alpine, there's no way I want Piastri anymore. They fucked up. Alpine. I'm sorry, I swore, but they buggered up. They should never have been looking to sign Alonso. Piastri was their future. Look at all the other drivers that have come through the way Piastri did, and none of them have. But of one F2, you got George Russell now in Mercedes, great. Charles Leclerc in Ferrari, great. Piastri is in the same caliber of those drivers. That was Alpine's ticket to a driver like that.
Yep.
And instead of giving him, like, he's already set out this year and he's had no free practice sessions. So you can't blame for Piastri for looking anywhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
Or being mad at Alpine, because he's done everything to get an F1 seat, and they're going, oh, let's try and get Alonso for one more year. Or why? What's one more year going to do when you've got Piastri sitting there? If you had no other option, if you were like, we don't have anyone in the wings, I could understand why you wanted Alonso. But when you've got Piastri, it was just so. This is just the worst handling of a driver I've ever seen. And,
Exactly.
You know, like,
it's such a head scratcher. Like, they were so focused on getting Alonso re-signed.
yeah,
They let their future walk away.
And
Yep.
that's the thing. Like, they're so focused on signing a guy who is past his prime.
And
he talks up an amazing game, but he has not backed it up
Yep.
in 15 years.
And a guy that will happily do what he did, which was get a deal behind your back and see you later.
Yeah.
Let you know on Instagram.
Yeah, as soon
You know?
as soon as Seb he was out.
Yeah.
Seb announced his retirement, and then 2 days later, suddenly he's signed with Aston Martin.
Yeah.
Like, and Alpine was so certain that they were gonna keep him. Now they've lost Alonso and Piastri,
Yep, that's right.
and their only saving grace now would be to sign Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah.
Now this is where I've got to pull you up. Okay. The last little note I have here is that Alpine has been talking to someone else about the seat at Alpine. A driver who is out of contract at the end of 2022. A driver that Sebastian Vettel told Mike Crack he would like to see this guy at Aston Martin, replacing Vettel.
Is it Pierre Gasly?
It's Mick Schumacher.
So they're talking to Mick, are they?
Yeah, because Haas has said we haven't even spoken to Mick about contract extension or anything like that.
Yeah.
So Schumacher is now...
Well, if I was Alpine, that's what I would be doing. I'd be looking at the out-of-contract drivers and I'd be going for Mick Schumacher. They stuffed up. Like, unfortunately, Piastri's gone. Like, the way he come out and said straight away, I'm not driving for Alpine.
Yeah, when he comes out and
relationship's
he
over.
categorically says, I'm not driving for Alpine, makes me wonder how close he was to signing with McLaren anyway. Like, he came out and said, I'm not driving for him.
Well, I think he's obviously upset that he's never got any and they haven't prioritised him to get the seat. Alpine have thought in their head, oh, we've got Piastri, we own him. He'll get in the seat when we want to. And meanwhile, Piastri's going, I am an F1 driver, I need a seat now. Like, I can't keep sitting on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Whoever wants to give me a seat, I'm in. And
Yeah, but, I mean, you come out and you say, I'm not driving for Alpine.
This seems like
But-
it's premeditated.
Yeah,
like he's
but-
yeah.
But Ricciardo's still the one with the option. Ricciardo's still got to agree to a buyout.
Yeah.
Like, Piastri's so insistent that he's not driving for Alpine. But that doesn't mean Ricciardo has to walk away from McLaren either.
Piastri could end up with no seat
He
next
could end
year.
up out of F1. Like, he could have fucked
Yeah.
himself on 2 levels here.
Yep. 100%.
Here's the thing, is that the only people who are saying that he's going to McLaren
Is him.
is Otmar Zaf now.
Yeah. I haven't heard shit or I haven't heard anything from Daniel. I haven't heard
No.
anything from Zach or Andreas Seidel. I've heard nothing. That's why I've been scratching my head. Because
Well,
we're
what- What if
mid-season break ends at the end of this week.
What if Piastri has signed with Williams? Well, I mean, or what if he signed with Haas?
We don't know, but no one's saying anything.
Everyone's assuming it's McLaren. Otmar Zafnauer is going in all guns blazing, shooting at McLaren.
Is everyone waiting for for Alpine to take him to court to see if his contract was still legally binding?
Yeah,
Is everyone just in a holding pattern now?
Yeah, well,
must
Alpine,
be.
they've come out and all they said was they feel that they are... what did they say? They felt that they were legally right in what they said by announcing Piastri as the driver. So it doesn't sound very convincing that they've actually got their contract right, if that makes
but I mean,
sense.
this just screams Otmar Zafnauer, like what he did with Jenson Button in Honda. Like, Button wanted out of Honda when Otmar Zafnauer was in charge over there. So he signed with Williams, and then, but he still had 1 year left on his contract. Honda said, "We're not buying you out. We're not letting you go. You had no right doing that."
This could be a very similar situation.
So then he had to stay at Honda for another year, signed a contract with Williams. Williams gets told that BMW are ditching them.
Yeah.
So then he backs out of the deal after he signed the contract, backed out of the deal, which meant he had to pay Williams a whole bunch of money. And he stayed at Honda until it became Braun.
And it won him a world championship, so, you know, in the long run, he was better sticking to his
And
guns.
here's the ironic part. The person that ended up getting the seat that Jenson Button wanted at Williams was Mark Webber.
There you go.
So it's
Do you know one thing on Piastri's side of it? I can understand if he's pissed off at Alpine because they didn't prioritise him and they were going for Fernando. I can get all that. But to come out so adamantly 2 hours after and just go, it's not like he come out and said, I haven't signed anything, I'm not sure what's going on. He's come out and said, I will not drive for Alpine. That's pretty bold if you do not have something signed, sealed and delivered in the background.
He's in massive trouble
If he doesn't.
Alpine figure out that the contract was binding. It's like, oh, good, you just said you're not driving for us. Well, we're not going to... You can stay test driver for another year.
Yes, that's what will happen to him. Yeah.
Like, he will be dragged over the coals for this. He better pray to God that that contract was expired.
I mean, I think this
because
comes from...
Alpine seemed real confident that it wasn't.
I don't think this is like Piastri. This definitely comes from Piastri's camp. If that
This
makes
is Mark
sense.
Webber.
Yeah, this
right?
is Mark Webber and
Mark
lawyers.
Webber
And
for sure.
yeah, this is where it's all coming from. It's not Piastri. But to adamantly say that, you would want to hope that his camp has got it right in whatever direction he is going. He either is somehow guaranteed this McLaren seat, which doesn't make sense because its seat's not open. So,
But it could be.
I mean, it could be, but it's not as far as we know. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, well, yeah. See, at this point, it's not.
to come out and say I'm not driving for Alpine, you want to have a contract like.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm not driving
guaranteed.
for Alpine, but the only way I'm going to drive for McLaren is if Daniel Ricciardo accepts a buyout, which he doesn't have to because he's the one with the option.
Yeah, and what if he goes?
It's such a gamble.
Yeah, what if Daniel Ricciardo goes? No,
No.
I'll stay for another year because I don't have any other seats.
And the silence coming out of the McLaren camp,
He might be doing that. He said he's committed not too long ago.
Danny Rick will just be like, "No, I'm gonna stay."
Yeah,
And you can.
But
take your
there are
contract.
rumours swirling around that Zach Brown has told Daniel Ricciardo, we are buying you out of your contract. We do not want you here in 2023.
That's my problem. I don't know who has the power in that relationship. To
Yeah.
my knowledge, it was Daniel.
Yeah.
And McLaren's acting like they've got the power.
yeah.
McLaren's acting like if we give you $30 million, you don't have a choice but to walk away. But if the contract says the choice is Daniel's and Daniel's alone, Daniel doesn't have to leave.
Here's the thing for me. Like, I was saying that I think Alpine should go see McLaren and go, right, you want Piastri? Fine. We'll take Ricciardo, but you pay a year of Ricciardo's
Sorry.
wages.
Yep.
Or they don't take Ricciardo and they take Mick Schumacher and Ricciardo's out of his seat.
Yeah.
You just give Ricciardo his severance check and send him on his way.
Look, I think Alpine snagging Ricciardo for a year on McLaren's dime works out better for Alpine.
I think so. Yeah.
I think I think it's a better look. I mean, but signing, but
And
announcing that you've
here's the
signed Mick
thing,
Schumacher's
it
a
might
pretty good
work
look
out
too.
better for Daniel Ricciardo too, because if you look at the constructors' standings, I know it's mid-season, da-da-da-da-da, but Alpine is now beating McLaren in the constructors.
Yeah, they're the better car. That's the crazy thing about the whole Piastri thing as well, is that with him adamant he wants to go, like he's not like he's walking out of a bottom tier. He's not walking out of a Williams right now. He's walking out on the fourth best car on the grid, which
Yeah.
to get your first start, it's a good place to start. Like, so to adamantly say I am not driving for you, you're like, oh my god, you better have something definitely guaranteed because this is a bad look if it goes, if it goes shit faced.
Yep, and it could.
You're out. Yeah, it could. You might be out of a seat. You might have ruined your chance of getting in. And
There's so many options, man. We either get a straight swap, Ricciardo for Piastri. Piastri gets stuck at Alpine in the naughty corner, with it being a test drive for another year as just sheer punishment.
yeah,
Alpine grit their teeth and bear it, and Piastri actually drives for Alpine next year.
I can't see that happening.
Or Ricciardo stays at McLaren and Piastri's out of Formula One.
Well, Piastri ends up at Haas
Or
and
Mick-
Schumacher goes to Alpine.
Yeah. Fuck.
I mean, if I was Alpine, I would be kind of like, Piastri's gone, but it's their own fault. They buggered up, but I wouldn't be doing anything. I would be looking at I would be going for Mick Schumacher
that is
if
not
I was
the
Alpine.
response.
That's
Like,
what I
yeah.
would do. But
I would understand that he's unhappy,
yeah,
but that was not the response you would want from a guy that
no,
to come out and outright say, not only have I not signed a contract, but I'm not driving for you at all.
yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah.
And I understand him being upset at Alpine,
I
but
get
to
it.
come out in that way is a bit like, woof.
You burnt the bridge.
Yeah, you've burnt the bridge before you've Have
Yep.
you crossed the other bridge? You know,
Yeah.
like, well, guess we're going to find out, aren't we?
Yep.
And all this craziness has sort of masked the thing that Mattia Binotto is being sort of, his job is being questioned at Ferrari.
And not a second too soon, man. Like, but the problem is it Binotto or is it the strategist? Like, who's got the final call on?
That's what they need to get to the bottom of.
Yeah.
They got to fix the strategy. Everything else isn't too bad. It's just, you know.
Look, I think they're going to retain Binotto.
They'll retain Binotto. I can't remember. I read an article yesterday. I can't remember who was saying it, but was it a Riverbend, eh? It was someone. Maybe no, it was Ross Brawn. And he's like, the problem with Ferrari is they will always go for the head. Like the head guy will always take the fall before anything else in that team. You know, there's always a knee-jerk reaction when Ferrari's not doing well to sack the team principal instead of looking into, you know, the strategist or the pit crew or even the drivers, you know.
Yeah.
Their first reaction, and it's the same with sports, man. The first reaction to a struggling team is to sack the coach.
Yeah.
It's not always the coach's fault.
Yeah,
but-
no players ever get, sacked,
no.
do they?
Yeah,
Even though
just
they're
by
the
the-
ones not performing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
The players on the field aren't performing, so we sack the coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, how's that fucking work?
Makes sense. Yeah, well, that's what Ross Brawn was saying. Ferrari's like, it's like the problem with Ferrari is they will see Binotto as the easy target
Yeah.
because Binotto is the head of everything. You know, the team principal. It's his fault. Ferrari's doing, you know, not that Inoue guy, whatever that Spanish dude's name was, the strategist from Ferrari. You know, they haven't even brought his name back up.
Yeah.
And I mean, if at the end of the day, if Mattia Binotto is like protecting that Anaki Rodriguez guy, the strategist who's making the mistakes, I guess the buck does stop with Binotto because he should be making sure that doesn't happen by getting rid of the guy.
That's right.
You know, like if he's got the power to do that, he should be doing that. But if he doesn't have the power to do that, I don't think it's the right call just to get rid of him because I don't think he is the problem. It's clearly the strategy. Whoever is picking the strategy, which might be him, like he might be given the strategy by that Anaki guy or a team of people, and he says, yes, that's what we're going with. So he might have the final say, so it could fall on him, but it's got to do with the strategy, nothing else. I think everything else he's done with the team's been really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got two confident drivers and a pretty damn good car.
Yeah.
It's just a strategy that's kicking them in the ass and reliability, but even that's out of his control.
Yeah, it's right.
I think they're laying the blame at the wrong person's feet here. I think he'll retain his spot. Like it's Spa
Yeah.
this week. Like Spa is literally coming up this weekend. Like if he was going to lose his job, he would have lost it already.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's going to stick around. I think he's going to listen to the drivers a bit more now. I think that's the way to fix the strategy call problem
Yeah.
at Ferrari is listen to the drivers more.
Yeah, I mean, look, you've had a month off to sort of dissect some data.
And
I've-
for Charles Leclerc to cool down.
Yeah, so hopefully, you know, the time off's done them well.
The final news story is that the 2026 engine regulations are locked in now.
Yes, they are. That pretty much paves the way for Porsche and Audi to come in. That pretty much greenlights them both, which is good.
So, everything you need to know according to F1 about the 2026 power units. So, incredible power, sustainably fueled, and driving innovation.
Yeah, that's the marketing team at work, mate.
So, they're still going to have over 1,000 horsepower, increase in electrical power. The new MGU-K will deliver triple the amount of power, and the MGU-H is Gornsky.
Yep.
That's what the teams wanted.
Sustainable fuels. Be running entirely on sustainable fuel. Neutral carbon circle. Carbon used in production of fuel equal to emissions. No additional carbon dioxide release. Same fuel can be used in road cars.
That's the part I'm most excited about. If they get this working.
I'm just be happy if that means the eco-mentalists stay off the fucking track.
I'll just be happy if that means we can stop trying to fucking put EV cars everywhere.
Yeah. Because God knows I'm sick of social media people complaining about we're being forced to use electric cars.
I'm one of those guys.
Oh, yeah, but you're not vocal on social media about it. So driving innovation uses less than half the fuel of the 2013 power unit, which I think was 70 kilos, is what the 2026 power unit petrol load is going to be.
Yeah, right.
Whereas 2013 they were using, I think, 100 kilo,
Yeah, 100 kilos.
and
of
currently
fuel.
they're at 110.
Yeah.
It's going to be at 70.
70 kilos. 70 litres of fuel for a Grand Prix.
Yeah, of biofuel.
Can you just bring back refueling?
Yeah, just bring back refueling. High voltage equipment contained within the safety cell.
Yeah, they've moved the battery from like the side of the engine into its own cell,
Yeah,
which means the driver shouldn't have to do the leap of faith if the battery fails.
that's right.
Yeah, because usually if the battery fails, the car's live and you've got to double jump away to not get electrified. Same as when lightning hits the ground. But apparently within the safety cell, should all be contained.
And battery materials are to be recycled.
I'm pumped. I'm pumped about these rags.
I am too.
1,000 horsepower on eco fuel, synthetic oil-free fuel,
At
that-
70 kilo from 110.
it uses less fuel.
Yeah.
It uses more electrical energy. The MGUH, I mean, we discussed this already, that we knew the MGUH was going a long time before this, and they've just bumped up the kinetic energy. I think it's gone from 150 watts to like 400 watts of power just on its own.
Yeah.
And then, the internal combustion engines don't change, but
Well, there is going to be a change with the internal combustion engines. They're going to be louder.
they're going to be
They're bringing the
louder.
noise.
Oh,
We
nice.
have more noise.
This is what we
Nice.
want.
More noise. Bring the noise.
That's good. I mean, yeah, they sound all right now. They sounded better as V10s, but
Or are they just going to
Listen.
play like the sound of the V10s over some speakers or something while they're going around? So we all think that's what's happening.
Well, there was, I think, Nissan had a smart car, like one of the, like a Prius type thing. But there was dead quiet, so they put speakers in, and you could download different car engine noises to play out the speakers. So you could download like the Nissan GTR engine sound or whatever, and it would play out the speakers, and it would react to the revs of the
Yeah.
car.
It's
that's hilarious. Nah,
That's what you need. Download the Flintstones. Bop, 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 bop. Download Jeremy Clarkson and go, power! Or download James May go, Clarkson! That's when you start it up. Clarkson!
Did you see James May got rushed to hospital?
No.
Yeah, he slid his car. They were filming something for the Grand Tour. He's fine. He slid his car into they were driving through this underground tunnel, and the challenge was like the lights would only come on for a certain amount of time, and you had to get your car through there before the lights turned off. And the lights obviously mustn't have been on or whatever. And he's like sideways impacted this wall at like 120 k's an hour. But he's alright. I think he fractured a couple of ribs, but he's fine.
Hey, did you see something happened on Top Gear?
I haven't watched Top Gear since Clarkson.
Yeah,
Totally
that's my
left.
point. No one
Yeah.
else cares.
I haven't watched Top Gear. I tried to watch Top Gear when Matt
Yeah.
LeBlanc was the host.
Oh, that was appalling. And you had Mr. Screechy, that guy with the glasses.
Yeah.
And they changed the Top Gear test track and put rally section, and you're like, oh, this is fucking crap.
Yeah, I gave it a chance, and then I just don't watch Top Gear anymore.
Yeah, I gave it a hard pass.
Mm.
Right. So that's the news. Now
That
it's
is the
time for the
news.
fun stuff. It's for our team challenges. Our team challenges.
Can I go on record and say this is the last year I'm doing this?
Yeah, no, this is the last year we're doing it. We're going to do
I'm
something
not-
different next
I'm
year.
not doing this again.
So we're going to do it again next year. No.
Once was enough. Twice was one time
We're
too
going to
many.
do
Once it-
18 teams.
Do the entire grid. Next year we're going to do Guess the Grid. Guess who's going to get dumped from McLaren next year? Oh, he didn't laugh. Oh, jeez. Right, so the rules are 3 works teams, complete with, your engine supplier, your team principal, and your 2 drivers, and 3 customer teams that can run Renault, Ferrari, Mercedes, Honda, because that's technically what the RBR is running, Audi and Porsche. Again, the teams have to have team principal and 2 drivers.
The works teams get their own power units though, because they're a works team.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
You fucking better say that because
I
I've got 3 works teams with their own power units.
I was doing the exact same thing. I'm thinking, oh no.
Yeah.
Have I misread the rules here?
The works teams get their own power units
Because they're a works team.
Yes.
because they're a works team.
Thank you.
And because we didn't run over this beforehand, because I'll go first. If you've got a similar team, say it at when I
Yeah.
finish.
Yeah, follow it.
So then it makes it easier for the YouTube video for me to edit it.
Oh, so it's easier for you.
Yes.
No. You made me do homework. I'm going to make you do homework.
How about fuck you? Shut up and do as you're told, bitch.
Still be a giant toddler about things.
I thought you were going to say a giant tosser about things. Yes, you
that
can.
too. That too.
Right, I'm going to go first.
Here we go.
My first team is Ford.
Oh, good. I'll follow you in.
Okay, good. Power unit running Ford EcoBoost Cosworth.
Ooh, yes.
Because I mean, if you're going to run a Ford team, it's got to have a Cosworth engine in it.
I think it's a DFE.
Cosworth.
Yeah, okay.
All right, my team principal. I've gone with a fellow named Marcin Budkowski.
Budkowski? Yep.
Yep. He is the ex-Alpine Renault F1 boss who replaced Cyril Abiteboul. Every time I read Cyril Abiteboul, his name, there was like this song in the 80s. I don't know what it's called, but his name always reminds me of the chorus where they sit there and go, beat boys, play that funky beat boys. You can change it to a beat ball, play that funky a beat ball. Yeah, I'm showing my age. Fuck you. So, Marcin Bukowski. My drivers. I've got Teo Porcher, who's current F2 driver. And, this'll surprise you, Josef Newgarden, who's currently an IndyCar driver.
Yep.
So, JB.
Same vein, mate. Ford Penske.
Yeah, that works.
Power unit. Ford EcoBoost V6 Turbo Hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
Derived from their 2018 Le Mans engine.
Mm-hmm.
Drivers. Scott McLaughlin and Josef Newgarden.
Oh!
Team principal. I've got 2. Is Ryan Story, who you may know is Scott McLaughlin's former Penske DJR boss in Australian supercars,
Yeah.
or Tim Cindric, who is the current boss of Penske IndyCar.
Hang on, who was the second name?
Tim Cindric.
Tim
He is the current the Penske IndyCar crew chief, team boss.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Longhorn.
My first works team.
Mhm.
Okay.
As a chopper goes overhead. Thank you, fucking CQ Rescue.
I don't know, man. They've been pretty busy lately.
Yeah, it's because
There's a
People is-
lot of psychos out there at the moment.
Yeah. So anyway,
right.
my first works team, and keeping in the American theme, I've got Chevrolet F1. There you go. That's a nice looking livery there you got too. Obviously, they're running their own power units.
Yeah.
The drivers, I've got Marcus Ericsson, ex-Formula One driver,
Yeah.
current IndyCar driver, and he won the Indianapolis 500 this year, I believe.
Yes.
Yep. I even think he's top of the leaderboards at the moment. He's up there.
Yeah, he's up
He's up
there.
there.
No, he's
But-
close. Will Powers. on top.
Willpower, that's it, yeah. But ex-Formula One driver, so safe pair of hands.
Yeah.
And the other driver, I've gone with an American driver for the American market. I've gone with Colton Herter.
Oh, nice.
And to finish off, my team principal, I've gone with...
Marcin Bukowski.
Correct!
Well, to save your editing skills for
Well, hang on. I'm going to save you some editing skills. So my next team, I sort of went something similar to Chevrolet, but I've got a little bit of a imaginary story to go with it. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to announce the drivers first before I actually say. Oh, I should actually say what the thing is for the sake of editing. So they are running a Chevrolet power unit, but I've actually gone with Holden Racing Team.
Ooh.
Right.
You just like that livery, don't you?
Oh, it's gorgeous.
It's a beautiful
that
livery.
Chevrolet livery is gorgeous too.
Yeah.
It is. So they're running Chevrolet because part of GM. Team principal is Tim Sidrick,
There you go.
former WEC Team Penske boss. Now, the first driver I've also got as the co-owner of the team, Daniel Ricciardo.
Oh, okay.
The reason why I made him co-owner and why I put it as Holden is because if he's co-owner, I thought he might want to make it an Australian team. We haven't had an Australian team since Brabham.
Yeah. We're due for one.
Yeah, that's right. And it'll give Australians jobs.
Yeah.
The other driver I've gone with is another Australian. Current F2 driver, Jack Doohan.
Very
Nice.
So, yeah. JB?
Flick it back to Chevrolet, my dude. All right, Chevrolet F1 power unit, Chevrolet V6 turbo hybrid derived from their current twin turbo IndyCar engine.
Mm-hmm.
Team principal is Laura Klauser. She is the head of Chevrolet Sports Cars, and a female team principal would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the drivers.
Is that because you miss Claire Williams?
I always miss Claire Williams. Yeah. Actually, it wasn't that long ago, was she? It was, I think, like last year. Yeah, but I mean, it'd be good to see another female. You know,
Yeah.
women's equality and all that. And the drivers of Chevrolet Formula One is Callum Ilott and Pato O'Ward.
Oh, nice.
Yes, both current Chevrolet IndyCar drivers.
Right. Longhorn.
Alrighty, so are we still doing Works team, or can I go any way I
We'll
want?
stick with the works teams.
Works? Okay.
I've already gone through 2 works teams, so
Yeah, same
we're
here.
in the same vein.
All right. So my next Works team, and I'll give you... I'll give you the Works team. So I've gone with Toyota.
Yes.
Toyota F1. Obviously, they're running their own V6 turbo hybrid engines.
Mm-hmm.
The drivers, I've gone with Kamui Kobayashi, who currently drives for Toyota in World Endurance and is an
Kamui Kobayashi.
Yeah,
Yep.
Kamui Kobayashi.
Yeah, he used to drive in F1.
Yep,
Yeah,
he did.
Ex-Formula One.
Ex-Formula One. He's pretty old, but I figured, Japan, they'd like to have a Japanese driver on the team. And
Asians don't age.
yeah,
That's right.
and yeah, I mean, if Alonso's still doing it at 41, I'm sure he can at 35. So he's my first driver. And my second driver, I've actually gone with a driver from the grid who's made a move to this team. And I've given... So whoever I've moved around, I've given another option to that team.
Mm-hmm.
Pierre Gasly.
Ooh.
So I've gone Pierre Gasly making a move to Toyota because he's going nowhere at AlphaTauri.
Mm-hmm.
And this might give him a chance of moving up the grid. And so to replace Pierre Gasly, I've gone with Liam Lawson to AlphaTauri.
Nice.
And, yeah. Oh, my team principal. My team principal is Hasataki Morata, who is currently the team principal in World Endurance.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That's very similar to the team I had last year for this one.
Yeah.
I think I had Toyota with
We both had Toyota.
Masahata as the team principal as well.
Right. So my final works team is, if I can find the photo of it, I'm still at L.
Scrolling back.
Hyundai. I went Hyundai
Interesting.
F1.
Very interesting.
running a Hyundai V6 turbo hybrid system derived from their N division.
Yeah. Their end line of cars have a V6 option too.
Yep.
Yes.
Team principal. I've gone with a man called Alexandre Pesci. Now, he is a former team boss for a World Endurance Championship team called Team Rebellion.
Ah, yes, I know Team Rebellion.
So I went with him as the team principal. Drivers. Pato O'Ward and Callum Ilott.
Very nice.
Nice.
JB.
All right, my final works team. It's BMW.
I'll follow you after that.
The power unit of BMW is the BMW M Turbo Hybrid V6, derived from their current Le Mans Hybrid P66-3 V8 engine. The team principal is Andy Cowell, who is the current managing director of Mercedes-AMG Powertrains, but also a former BMW F1 employee.
Nice.
And the drivers is Mick Schumacher for the German connection and Stoffel van Dorn.
Ooh,
Ooh.
very nice.
The dessert. Bringing the dessert back.
Bringing him back. You know, he won the Formula E World Championship.
Yes.
So he's got talent still.
Right.
All right, I'll follow up with that because my works team is also BMW Racing.
Oh, that makes editing for me a
Yep,
lot easier.
that's what we're doing.
Woohoo!
Obviously, BMW engine, same as what Johnny just said.
Yep.
My drivers, I've also gone for Stoffel van Dorn.
Oh, bringing the dessert
The
back.
dessert is back.
Very nice.
And my second driver, I've also brought a former F driver that's been on the F1 grid before. I've gone with Daniil Kvyat.
Oh, good choice.
So, two
I'm sure
experienced drivers.
I'm sure he'll enjoy rocketing right into Max Verstappen.
Vettel is glad he's retired, let's put it that way.
No. Like, Kvyat and Max Verstappen hate each other.
Yeah, because Verstappen's with Kvyat's ex.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's his baby's daddy.
Yes, that's right.
Hey,
So,
you see who Daniel Ricciardo's dating now? Gerhard Berger's daughter.
oh, really?
Oh, she's gorgeous.
Go, Daniel.
Who was your team principal?
Yes.
My team principal is Martin Whitmarsh.
Ooh.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see him back on the grid.
Yes.
Well, he is. He works at Aston Martin.
Yeah, it'd be good to see him step out into his role without being saboteured by fucking Ron Dennis every step.
Well, now he's got to answer to Mike Crack.
I'm sure Mike Crack would probably be easier to work with than Ron Dennis.
Yeah,
Ron
but he's
Dennis
also
would-
got to answer to Larry Stroll.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Was that your last works team, bro?
That was my last works team, yes.
Nice. So
Right.
we're on the customer team.
Customer teams. So my first customer team is, if I can ever find the damn photo, Bugatti.
Oh,
Bugatti F1.
I like that livery too.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Nice.
Particularly the front
yeah.
wing. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Sexy.
that is more seductive than sex. Power unit. I've got them using, because Bugatti is part of the Volkswagen group, so I've got them using Audi.
Right.
Audi F1 power unit. Team principal is Simon Roberts. He was the guy who took over from Claire Williams at Running Williams.
Right.
Drivers. I've got Pierre Gasly.
Nice.
And partnering him is Felipe Drogovic.
Nice.
Nice.
So, yeah.
It's a good lineup.
All right. My first customer team. And I don't think you'll have this on here. But Supercars fans will know this team. It's Walkinshaw Andretti United.
Oh, look out. He might have something here.
Now, their power unit is a Porsche V6 Turbo Hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
Their team principal, because of his relation with Walkinshaw Andretti United in Supercars, and it would be a big step, is Zach Brown. Leaving McLaren,
Ooh.
going to take over Walkinshaw Andretti United, which would leave Andreas Seidel in charge of McLaren.
I don't think anyone should leave me in charge of a fucking microphone. I just clobbered it with my glasses.
Just headbutting shit. The drivers, because I think Zach Brown would work very well
Daniel Ricciardo?
with. Not quite. Not quite.
Oscar Piastri?
Yeah. No. It's Colton Herta
Ooh.
and Marco Andretti.
Ooh. Nice.
Very nice. Okay, I'm up next, didn't I?
Yes.
Alrighty. My first customer team, and yeah, I do not think you'll have this on here. I'd be very surprised if you do. It's Skoda F1.
No, I don't have that one.
Skoda.
Skoda.
Got him. Skoda. My engine, they're part of the Volkswagen group, is
Yep.
Porsche. So they're running Porsche engines.
Yep.
My driver lineup, I've gone with Nick De Vries,
Ooh, good pick.
and I've gone with Jehan Deruva.
Yeah, good choices.
Sort of as my thinking there is sort of as a since they're going to be running Porsche, it's sort of a deal with Red Bull Porsche to have one of their drivers come in. And my team principal is Cyril Abitabox.
Oh man. Oh, he's like Christmas. He just keeps on giving. Right. So my next team, I've gone with Venturi F1.
Ooh.
Oh, here we go. Running Mercedes power unit.
Right.
Does Mercedes have any available spots in their power unit cycle?
They will make pot spots available.
Are you following the rules here, sir?
I didn't know there was a rule on that.
I didn't know there were rules either. I actually asked if Porsche and Audi power units were like legal.
And I was like, yes.
I assume these are like past 2026 like entry teams.
Yeah.
By which stage Mercedes probably will have a spot, Slayer. So you're good.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah. Well, they will make a spot because their team principal is Susie Wolf.
That would be
Because
cool.
The
Even though she's openly said she would never go against Toto. in the
no,
world
but
of
they
Formula
would they would replace Aston Martin as the Mercedes B team.
Yeah, okay.
Ah, see, there you see where I'm going.
Definitely playing within the rules, aren't we?
Ah,
Playing chess, not checkers here.
Susie still wouldn't go against Toto. That's all right. Continue.
and you're going to find this ironic, Mr. Longhorn. The drivers, Stoffel Van Dorn and Nick De Vries.
We're all in agreement that Stoffel deserves a spot on the grid.
yeah, he could have one. Yep.
Excellent.
Maybe he ends up at Alpine.
Someone
Maybe he ends up at McLaren.
fucked if we know.
Might have to quickly buy one of them 99-cent Stoffel Van Dorn hats before
Yeah.
they go up in price.
Absolutely, before it becomes an actual item again. Second customer team is Brabham Racing, which shouldn't be too much of a surprise. The power unit is the Alpine V6 Turbo Hybrid.
Hang on. Didn't you do Brabham last year?
I did.
You can't repeat the same team.
I can because I have different drivers. They have an Alpine V6 Turbo Hybrid power unit because something about Australian teams and Renault engines just always seem to happen.
Is that because you nearly got taken out today and someone was driving a Renault?
No, they were driving a Jeep.
It's Mercedes.
Yeah, I did nearly die. Team principal is David Brabham, and the drivers are Jack Doohan and Liam Lawson.
Ooh,
An
nice.
Aussie and a Kiwi.
Nice. Very nice. Well, I'll follow that up with my second factory team, which is also Brabham.
Nice.
Also running Renault, because same reasons JB just said. I don't have to explain that again.
Yeah.
I'll give you my team principal first. I've gone with dual team principals. I've gone with David Brabham, and I've also gone with Mark Webber.
As a team principal. I could see it.
And then my drivers, I've gone with Daniel Ricciardo and Oscar Piastri.
They would fight each other to the death at this point.
Mark Webber's just decided, fuck it, I'm going to make my own F1 team, and all the Aussies are coming here.
Mark
my
Webber's
God.
like, I'm playing chess, not fucking checkers, man.
Daniel Ricciardo would be worse than Prost and Senna at this point. You're like, did you just cost me my seat in F1?
To be fair, I come up with this before all the all the stuff went on, and I was
It's
like,
like
no, I'm leaving it.
Honestly, it's like Prost versus Senna with Christian Horner as the team principal. Like, one of them's going to get the shits and the other one's getting preferential treatment. And they're just going to sit there and go,
Yeah, pretty much. Now, obviously, there's some moves there. I'll give you the other moves to fill the void. I've got Mick Schumacher going to McLaren. I've got Robert Schwartzman going to Haas. I've got Logan Sargent going to Williams. And I've got Zhou Guan Yu going to Alpine. And then I've got Teo Pourchaire going to Alfa Romeo. So that's the shuffle.
I'd like to see Porsche on the grid at some point.
all right, my final customer team is Koenigsegg F1. Running Renault power unit.
Liking the supercar teams, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah. I'd just like to try and see them spell that
Yeah.
on the F1. Like on the timesheets on the F1. That'd be great. You know, Koenigsegg Renault. It just goes off the page. And some poor bastard's got to sit there and spell Koenigsegg. Team principal, Cyril Beatbox.
Nice. Cyril's back.
Now, the drivers. I've gone with current Ferrari reserve driver, Robert Schwartzman.
Nice. I think he should end up on the grid one day.
And three-time, because now they're three-time Formula W champion, Jamie Chadwick.
Nice.
Because
Okay.
I thought it's time that we had another chick driver on the grid that is, like, she is very pretty, but she can drive, which means that puts her above the Anna Kournikova of driving, Danica Patrick.
Yes.
Because Danica, I saw her on a sports show about 10 years ago or something. They were talking about model and part-time tennis player Anna Kournikova. And immediately you just think, oh yeah, model and part-time driver Danica Patrick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
But yeah, Jamie Chadwick is my other driver for the Koenigsegg F1 team.
I'm not questioning her talent. Do you think, though, she could handle the workload of a Formula One car?
It's worth giving it a shot.
Yep.
You know,
I didn't know if there had been any, like, testing gone on in the background to sort of figure that out yet, you know?
Apparently there are talks to try and get her into F2 next year.
Yeah, nice. Yep.
So, yeah. JB.
Finally, we are done. My final customer team is Carlin Racing. Because I believe we can bring an F2 team up into F1 because I don't know why that hasn't happened already.
That's what...
They actually did apply for a license back in 2018 and got rejected.
Well, here's something funny. Did you know that both Jordan and Sauber started off as F2 teams?
Yeah. Yeah, well, Carlin legitimately tried to apply for an F1 license about 5 years ago and got knocked back, so... but they would have an Audi V6 turbo hybrid unit. The team principal would be Trevor Carlin, although I'm sure he'd enlist help from someone like, I don't know,
Cyril a beatbox?
Cyril Beatball. He'd find one of the random managers out there and get some help.
Just get Roland Dane.
Yeah, sure. And his drivers would be Alex Peroni and Logan Sargent, who drives for him in F2 anyway.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very
that's
nice.
it. I'm done.
Alrighty, my last team. So, Sir Richard Branson is bored flying up in space with Virgin Galactic and is back. Virgin Racing.
He's back.
is
I thought about
back.
Virgin Racing too.
Yes. My engine, they're going with Toyota. And the drivers, I've got ex-Formula 1 driver, current Formula E Series driver, and I think he actually even drove for Virgin Racing back in the day, Pascal Wehrlein.
Yes.
Yes, he did.
And my second driver, I've gone with, I'm just going to say, current F2 champion, Felipe Drugovich.
Nice.
And my team principal is Tony Fernandez, who was the team principal for Virgin Racing at some point. He's the owner of Air Asia, I think.
He's back.
Yes, so he's back. So it's kind of a full airplane alliance going on. Virgin Racing, Air Asia.
Wasn't he the
I feel
team
like the
principal?
Virgin car just needs to be powered by like some spaceship engine or some shit.
Yeah.
Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Richard Branson is just like, I've got a jet engine in the back of it.
I tell you what, I thought of doing Tesla.
But didn't Tony Fernandez, wasn't he the team principal of Caterham?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
So he's got experience at least.
Yes.
Right. Now, I've got a comedy team.
Excellent. It's not Ferrari though.
No,
Oh.
no, it's not Piastri F1 either.
It's
It
not
was Zafnauer F1.
Mark Webber Incorporated.
No. It's Rich Energy F1.
Yes.
Come on, you should have seen this one coming.
I did see this coming.
Right, Rich Energy F1. Powered by engines supplied by Elon Musk because he's good mates with William Story.
I was
Oh
going to
my
say, is
God.
it powered by bullshit?
Yeah, pretty much. Team principal is Colin Chapman.
Who's the owner of Twitter? He should be the team principal. Because he backed out of his fucking buying Twitter deal.
It's William Story, no. So Colin Chapman is the team principal.
Colin Chapman. Oh my goodness.
And the drivers are Jim Clark and Graham Hill.
So he's got
And Ayrton Senna is the reserve driver.
he's got 4 corpses in the corner,
Just like his energy drink.
dead on arrival. We call him DOA Racing.
Because you can't market that, but you can market Rich Energy because it is the market leader in energy drinks
It is the market leader of knockoff Red Bull.
of just being Red Bull tipped into another can.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah, well, I mean, this all screams of William Story bullshit.
No, man, he needed to have Nikita Mazepin and fucking Takuma Sato. Who else is shit? Nikita Mazepin and fucking maybe Daniel Kvyat.
Lance Stroll.
Yeah. Yes.
Latifi.
Yes.
Latifi.
Yeah.
Go
There you
Tiffy.
Latifi and
Rich energy
Mazepin.
with Mazepin and Latifi because they're desperate for money. like William Story's desperate for money.
And the team principal is the current strategy guy for Ferrari.
Yeah, Inoue, that guy.
Perfect.
We don't have any strategy. Our drivers suck, and I'm pretty sure our team principal's a fraud. But here we go. We're no worse than Haas were 3 years ago.
You mean last year?
Yeah, exactly.
That too.
Do it.
Oh, God.
Make it happen.
Do
What are they powered by besides hopes and dreams?
Elon, whatever engines Elon Musk can give him.
He literally just takes a shit in the engine bay, closes the cover. There you go. It's full.
No, that's 110 kilos of fuel.
Elon Musk bullshit.
I saw something last night on Facebook. There was a guy in the UK who was he went to the hospital because he was complaining about how he was constipated for a month. He gave birth to a 1 kilo shit.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
How does that not? I mean, I guess it does. Just
I'd like to know, did they do a cesarean to get it out or what?
you'd have to.
And I mean, they showed a photo of the nurse with the tray and this shit in it. And it was just like...
You know when fish do a shit and it's just like a real long string of shit? That's what I'm imagining. It's like Play-Doh.
Oh, this thing was... if you take a normal shit and it slides out in one lump...
Welcome to the
Where
mid-season.
where is this podcast gone?
Welcome to the mid-season special of the F1 chat. Rich Energy has us talking about literal human feces here. That's how bad of a person he is. Anyway,
literally talking about shit.
okay, continue with your shit story. I'm interested.
I don't want to now.
No, finish it. So yes, human shit looks like shit.
Yeah, but you know when you take a shit
Yes.
and it comes out in one lump.
Yes.
This was one lump that looked like it was.
Like a fish shit.
No, it was.
Solid.
It was solid.
Yeah. That's how fish. Have you never seen a fish take a shit?
No.
That's literally. That's
What do I
literally
look
it
like,
looks
David fucking Attenborough?
Yes. You never had goldfish?
No.
Okay.
My sister had Siamese fighting fish.
They shit in strings.
Yeah, well, that was in her room. I didn't want to go into her room. Oh my god.
Anyway.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Anyway. Is this the lowest tangent of the year, boys? Easily. Fast and Furious reference be dead. Let's talk about human,
I'll take my cutter back.
human and fish shit.
Where do we go from here?
We done.
I think
The only,
we just end.
to quote the song by Yaz, the only way is up.
We may be back next week for Spa. We're not sure yet.
Yeah, we'll be back next week for Spa.
Phil will be off watching a fish shit.
Take notes. I want a 13-page report. on this shit.
Your new homework.
Your homework because my homework. You have to watch Fish to a Crab.
And here the fish is finding a lovely spot, is preparing to take a massive turd. Just watch that thing about bin chickens. I actually saw a bin chicken get run over a couple of weeks ago too. That was awful.
I'd feel bad about the bin chicken, my dad.
It was Bert the bin chicken. Leave him alone.
Well, now he's Bert the ex-bin chicken.
He's I don't know
Dead.
how you would
He's
say it.
dead, Phil. He's dead.
He
Phil.
might as well be fish shit, Phil.
He was dragged along under the wheel, and it's still on Paradise Street.
Well, he had a one-way ticket to paradise, didn't he?
Run to Paradise.
I think we've lost all three of our listeners this podcast.
This podcast started so well, and now it's just dead. Well, it's been a good year and a half, of it, boys.
It was a good run.
Yeah.
Our mid-season break contract is ending, like Daniel Ricciardo's
Yeah.
is apparently ending.
We might not have a seat for next year.
We might be Oscar Piastri.
We managed to be kicked off YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, YouTube of all the fucking things, YouTube. Right. So next week is
Spa.
yes,
the best race on the calendar.
So
And it
keen.
better not fucking rain.
yeah. Well, it might be the last time.
Oh, better not.
I swear to God, if we lose Spa in favour of like the Vegas street track,
Well, did you hear they're pushing to move Vegas to... It's going to be the second last race of the year. I reckon they're going to push it to be the last race.
no.
I reckon
Show me
that's-
the track first.
I reckon that's what they're going to do. Well, this is the weird thing
Could
about
you
it, right?
imagine
They've
if the championship deciding race was the Miami shit show?
Oh, I hope not.
Like, that's not good.
But
Hey, at
Yeah.
least you'll have Willie T. Ribbs doing the interview.
Yeah.
I got his name right.
The black test driver, not the black driver. He drove a Formula One car, just not officially.
I got his name right though.
you did.
10 points for fucking Gryffindor. Right. So, next week we've got Spa. Then I think the week after we've got the Netherlands.
Zandvoort.
Then week after that we've got Monza.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got 3 races back to back.
Good races too.
Yeah, oh yeah. This for me is the exciting part of the season.
Yeah.
You start to see like the real
Good races.
historic tracks with the real, just, with the history.
The racing about it.
Yeah, the things that Herman Tilke could never design.
No, that's right.
It's called history and prestige, friend.
I do miss-
Meanwhile, F1 Manager's coming out on Thursday, and I'm going to do my best Ferrari impression and ruin a few seasons with some shit strategy.
just do your best McLaren impression and try and get rid of one of your drivers.
I'll just sack Ricardo. I'll fire out the game. The first thing I do is fire Ricardo.
Comes back. No, I have the option. No, you don't.
I have the fucking option, bitch.
$30 million says, get the fuck out of here.
Oh, Piastri. He's cheaper. Fuck off.
Isn't it a bit rich from McLaren though, willing to pay him $30 million to get out, considering the trouble they were in not too long ago? Like, you know, like I just find that a bizarre decision. Like,
I just want a decision to be made on this.
yeah, it needs to be made,
McLaren
but
said nothing.
I mean, like the fact that they were in trouble not too long ago, and then they're just like, you know what, we'll just pay $30 million to get rid of Ricardo. It's like, oof.
Yeah.
And not have him drive for you.
Well, maybe
Hope you don't have to sell any more stuff off to keep
maybe-
you afloat.
Maybe Piastri is closer to signing that deal than we all think.
Well, I think he had to have to say no to again. I know we're going back on what we've already said, but to state I will not drive for Alpine, you better have had a contract signed in the background.
Yeah.
You know, you have to have something. Or
Yeah,
this
you've
is
got
a
to have
bad
something.
look. This
You've
is
got
a
to have
bad
something
look.
concrete.
Yes.
Look, when there's smoke, there's fire. They wouldn't
Yeah.
just come out of nowhere saying, "Oh, McLaren's going to buy Ricardo out of his contract."
And I think, to be honest, Piastri's team are the ones that are ahead of this because Alpine didn't see this coming. They didn't see Alonso jumping, so it shows they're just not on the ball.
Caught
you know?
everyone by surprise.
Yeah, they're just not on the ball, and they're just thinking, "Oh, well, we got Piastri," and I'm telling you, they probably have gone through everything and realised that clause in the contract that July 31st
Yeah.
they were able to
They
shop,
missed
and
it.
they would have had this in the background for a long time. And the minute that day jumped over, I bet you they've signed. And yep, Alpine coming, "Oh, we got Piastri," and he's going, "No."
Yeah, well, I think the thing I'm looking forward to, besides the season restarting, is getting a resolution to this drama. I just want to see where everything falls.
Yeah.
Because it's still an absolute mystery even at this point. Like, some things in Formula One aren't a mystery. Like, things that me and Phil have called months in advance.
What, like Audi and Porsche joining
Like, we
F1?
knew Audi and Porsche were coming. We knew
We knew Sebastian Vettel was going to retire.
we knew
at the end of the
Sebastian
season.
Vettel was going to retire, but then there was a real strong chance that he wasn't.
Yeah, at the start of the year, we were all like, "Yeah, he'll retire," and then they sort of indicated he was going to give it one more year, and then he just randomly retired.
Yeah, things you see coming, and then things you don't see coming, like Fernando Alonso leaving Alpine, and Sebastian Vettel. I mean, we saw his retirement coming. I just don't think we expected it this early.
No,
And now Piastri and Ricciardo and McLaren and Alpine and
it's just thrown the whole market into
And
chaos at the moment, hasn't it?
utter chaos.
then there's actually another thing that I forgot is that you know how Pierre Gasly signed a contract with AlphaTauri?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, he is trying to do a Jensen Button and get out of that contract
Yeah,
What's he looking for? What's he looking at?
anywhere other than
whoever's
AlphaTauri.
Gasly management is like, how are they not doing what Piastri's management doing for Gasly? How are they not behind? Like, how's he not been pushing for the McLaren seat?
Yeah, can McLaren buy out Ricciardo and not get Piastri, but get Gasly?
Well, like that's what I mean. Like, why did Gasly sign another year? Like, he should have been looking at all the seats that the drivers were up this year,
Yeah,
and
but
his management should have
of-
gone to them.
None of these seats were up at the time.
Alpine,
No one was. No.
yeah. Well, Fernando Alonso was up.
Yeah, but
Sebastian Vettel hadn't retired from the sport, which means
Yeah.
Fernando Alonso was going nowhere.
Pierre Gasly signed his AlphaTauri contract at the French F1.
Yeah, all this happened a long time.
Yeah,
He
this
did it
happened-
too early. He did it too
Yeah,
early. He
yeah.
should have waited for around this time.
The reason why he didn't push for the McLaren seat is because he probably sat there and went, well, Daniel Ricciardo's still there for another year, so if I sign a one-year contract with AlphaTauri, then I'll get a good shot at getting the McLaren seat when Rick
true.
buggers off.
True.
And
He
then-
was probably thinking that. He was waiting for the
Yeah.
end of next year for the drivers to.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because God knows Helmut Marko wants him gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, Helmut
But then if
Marko-
you wanted him gone, why sign him for another year?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because you've got no one in your
Yeah.
driver academy that is...
You do. They're not ready for Formula One, but you've got drivers there.
They've probably got one driver at the moment that may. To be honest, yeah, all of their drivers to me aren't ready. You'd be forcing him in too early. But I guess also that's what AlphaTauri's for. They did it with Yuki Tsunoda.
Yeah,
Why not with-
I don't think Yuki Tsunoda is really cutting the mustard, though. I don't think he'll get into the main team.
No,
Yeah.
well, it's all going to come down to next year. But yeah, I don't see him. But I think he gets another year at AlphaTauri. I think he's done enough this year.
Yeah, Yuki will get another year,
Yeah.
and Perez will get another year at Red Bull.
I'll actually be honest, I don't know if Perez will.
No, he will. He will.
No,
He hasn't done. He's done all right.
Yeah, he's done fine, but I don't know. Red Bull just seemed like sometimes that even though he's doing enough of the job, they're like, well, they want more, and it's like, well, what do you want? You want a guy to
Well, don't forget.
clash with Verstappen, or do you want a guy to soak up in the background?
Don't
He's-
forget
when
He's
too.
instructors-
doing better than what Albon did.
Oh, of
which is
course
what
he
they
did.
wanted.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Don't forget too. Gasly. Gasly did drive in the main team.
Yeah, but he's never getting back.
No. He'll never get a shot at the main team ever again.
No.
That's
Yeah.
pretty
Well
much what
done.
Helmut Marko's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he's already saying that, Yuki Tsunoda is better than him, even though it's probably not the truth.
Oh, yeah, Helmut Marko's so full of shit, it's not funny. He might as well be team principal at Rich Energy F1.
Mm.
Helmut, Red Bull's problem with their driver academy is that they've signed everyone.
Yeah, they just try and hit. They just push them through the meat grinder until one hits, and then they go, okay, we got one.
Yeah.
That's all they do.
But then when they start stumbling, they're like, oh, we don't have one. Bye.
Yeah, and now you're done. Yeah. Yeah, we don't give you the time to develop, and yeah, you're out. And then they finally clicked on, like, oh, we can't just do that. You're not always going to find probably going to go down as one of the greatest drivers ever, and Max Verstappen. You're just not going to find that in every driver straight away. Not everyone's going to walk in at 17 and be able to drive in F1.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You got to give these guys time to develop, but they didn't understand that, and hence why they had to go and get Perez, a veteran who, is at least going to give him, reliability. But unfortunately, it ruins the other guy's career. Lucky for Albon, he managed to find his way back on the grid, which I'm glad because I think he deserves to be there. But I mean, it's hurting Gasly's career, and he's done enough to prove he deserves a topper team drive. But being stuck in that Red Bull, like you're saying, academy is just so cutthroat. And
Ferrari has the opposite problem because Ferrari is signed. They're picky. They are picky about who they get.
they've got good drivers that
They
can't
got
get
good
in.
drivers, but they got too many good drivers on their books occupying all the good seats.
Robert Schwartzman's good. I think he could
Callum
get on the seat.
Ilott was awesome.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't think Ilot's ever going to get back.
No.
That's the problem. Sometimes once you've gone too far, you won't come back because there's always talent seeping through every year to pick from. So, but
I mean, Mick Schumacher's in a holding pattern until they figure out what the fuck they're doing.
yeah, well, I mean, he all he can really do is sit at Haas until a Ferrari seat opens up, if it ever does.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's got to jump out somewhere else.
And I mean, if Ferrari keep fucking up their strategies for Charles Leclerc, his contract extension his contract ending will not come fast enough.
Where would he go though? Would you think Mercedes would take him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd go to Mercedes, and then Mick Schumacher would go up to the Ferrari main team.
Yep.
Right. So, next week, Spa F1.
Yes, we're back.
We're back in full battle mode. We've got our social medias, so you can listen to this on YouTube, care of YouTube. F1 Chat on YouTube, care of Vindicator 18 channel.
Yes.
Facebook is the F1 Chat.
Mm-hmm.
On the Twitter, it's the F1 Chat 1. Don't forget the 1.
Don't forget the one.
And on Spotify, it is the F1 Chat.
That's it. That's it. All the socials where we're not talking about fecal matter and all matter of goodness.
Better content than after this episode.
Then the actual main part of the content.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sacrificed the main content on the actual content providing show.
No, I mean,
so that we
yeah.
can put it up on all the social media stuff.
I mean, all the stuff we talked about, the power units and the fiasco with Piastri and Ricciardo, it's been going up on the Facebook page mainly. So if you want videos and extra information about it, it's all up there. The
Yeah,
F1
get
chat.
involved.
Get on it.
Get in there, Lewis.
Get in there.
Get
Lewis.
in there, Lewis. Oh, there's one last thing I do want to address. I was going to be the bigger man and not address it. I'm not going to mention this person's name. But I just want to clarify that someone is eligible for being the GOAT, irregardless of whether they fucking died or not. Thank you.
Yeah, agreed.
Sorry, that was... Ugh.
No one knows what you guys are talking about.
I was going to let that go, but some idiot on the ESPN F1 page tried saying to JB and I that Ayrton Senna could never be nominated to be the GOAT because he made a fatal mistake. Last time I checked, I thought his steering column snapped, which is why he went into the wall at 200 odd k an hour.
That's all right. I'm sure he sleeps well at night.
Yeah, with the head that size, I'm amazed he can fit it onto a pillow.
I
But
was surprised he can fit it up his own arsehole too.
yeah,
Good on you, sir. I hope you're proud.
I will admit there was a lot of people on that page who were like, "Oh, Lewis Hamilton's the GOAT," da 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 da, who read what I said and went, "Yeah, we agree with him."
Yeah, I made the argument that Lewis was statistically the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Statistically, he's got the most poles and the most wins, but my argument was driver for driver. I thought Ayrton was the better driver than
Yeah.
Lewis.
You know what legendary driver always gets omitted from being nominated for being the GOAT? Like, it's always Hamilton or Schumacher or Senna. Occasionally you get someone who says Alonso.
Nah, man, Fangio.
Yeah, Fangio.
Fangio was there, and Jim Clark. Because
Or Prost.
Ayrton Senna himself said that Jim Clark was the best racing driver of all time. So
Or Prost.
it's a goat calling a goat a goat.
Prost never gets brought up.
Prost was great.
Even another one that deserves some praise in the conversation is Sebastian Vettel. He was
that's
four-time
right.
world champion
So
before
was-
he's 26.
So was Prost. He was 4-time world champion.
Do you know, I heard on a podcast the other day, if you were to count all the world champions, like who had the most world champions before they were 26, there's only like a handful of people have even got one before 26, and Sebastian Vettel's got 4.
Yeah.
So I think there's only like a handful of people that got one.
How
Some
old's
might have
Max?
2. Well, Max is one with one. He's got one of them. I think he's 24.
Got one about to be 2.
Yeah. Yeah. So he'll come close, but even like, Hamilton and all that only had a couple by 26.
Do you
know?
think Max could break Michael Schumacher's record?
If they can keep a car
Mm.
at the top of the grid,
I think it's going to be harder than ever to keep a car at the top of the grid now.
I
think-
honestly think Max Verstappen is one of the best drivers we're ever going to see.
I thought that about Marc Marquez when he came into MotoGP. He won 6 world championships. Valentino Rossi still got 9.
Mm.
And Marc Marquez had this massive crash like 2 years ago, and he hasn't been the same since. And I thought for sure that he was going to come up and break Valentino Rossi's MotoGP championship record. But now I look at Max, and I'm like, man, Max has every potential to win more championships than Lewis.
Oh, yeah.
With the car he's got and with the talent he has. Unfortunately, with the regulations at the moment, I think it's going to be
That's
harder
the only
than ever
thing
to
that
keep
will
a
stop
car-
him. Like
car at the top.
you said, if you had to ask me who I think is the better driver, I'm honestly going to tell you it's Max Verstappen, because in my head I'm still going Hamilton. Not that he's a bad driver, he's still one of the greats, but he had a car that beat everyone by 30 seconds for so many years. There was, that's the only thing that's going to stop Max Verstappen from winning as much as Hamilton
he
is
doesn't
the
really-
cars.
Lewis doesn't really have the dogfighting skills.
He's got a little bit, but not like Max Verstappen. Like
Yeah,
I said,
Max drives
well-
like Ayrton used to.
Here we go. Like, if you compare the new drivers, like your Charles Leclerc's, your Max Verstappen's, Lando Norris, George Russell, you compare them to your Alonso's, your Hamiltons, your Vettels, your the old school drivers now.
Yeah.
The new school drivers, your Russells and co, drive like drivers from the 80s and the 90s.
They all know how to dogfight.
Yeah.
They know how to dogfight.
Mm.
Whereas Lewis Hamilton is so used to having a car that screams off into the distance. He's
Lewis is good at consistency.
Yeah.
He's good at
He
being
is
consistently fast lap after lap after lap. But if you put him driver on driver under pressure, he's not quite on the same level.
I think people underestimate how good Verstappen is in the sense that he got into a Formula One. He was on the Formula One grid at 17 years old.
Mm-hmm.
They had to change the rules because of him. They were like, "Hang on,
Yeah.
I don't think kids should be doing this."
I don't think
He managed to do it. That's how good he is.
And then he
but-
won his first race at 18.
Yeah,
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 I think he's
Like-
the youngest race winner ever.
yeah. Yeah, he was on a Formula One grid before he could even get his car license.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
And
talent.
when he won his first race, he wasn't allowed to drink the champagne because
Yeah.
he was underage.
yeah, that's why they had to change the rule.
Yeah. But these new crop of drivers know how to do dogfighting.
And these new regulations promote dogfighting, which is why I think the next 5 years of Formula 1 is going to be brilliant to watch.
That's
Yeah.
also why I think Lewis Hamilton is not going to win another title.
I don't think he's going to come close.
No, I think George Russell would beat him
George
in that
Russell
team.
will be the next champion out of Mercedes.
Yeah.
Easily. Easily.
Yep, I think so.
But this season isn't over yet.
No, not by a long shot.
We've got, like everyone's saying, oh, Max Verstappen's run away with it. He's got to start dealing with reliability.
He's going to start taking grid penalties soon too.
Yeah. And I think that's where, if Ferrari sort out their crap, I mean, with strategy calls and that, because the Ferrari is the faster car.
I think the Ferrari is genuinely the better machine.
Well, the race did a video about the current Red Bull. It's actually heavier than the Ferrari.
Mm.
It's got more weight, and the front end is more, I think, understeery compared to the Ferrari,
Yeah.
which Max is not happy about.
Well, it doesn't seem to be affecting him too much.
Yeah, he's taking advantage of the chips falling his way.
Yeah, but he's straight up dogfight Charles Leclerc on a few occasions this
Oh,
year
yeah.
as well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm not discounting what Max Verstappen has done. And any good champion takes advantage of the situation. If the chips fall your way, you take advantage of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? Any good champion does.
Yeah.
So he's taken advantage of the chips falling his way.
Now Ferrari are going to do the same on the back end of the year.
Yeah.
They know that they're going to have to take grid penalties too.
Yeah.
Ferrari as well. They've already taken their allotted allotted power unit parts.
Yeah, they got grid penalties from now on.
Yeah.
So is Red Bull.
Red Bull
Red
will
Bull's
soon as
taken
well.
up too.
Yeah.
So,
It's not over, and all the good tracks are coming up, like you said.
yeah.
Spa and Zandvoort, Monza, Singapore.
This has the potential to go down to the wire. It could either go a complete blowout or go down to the wire.
Yeah, well, hey, we've got 4 days to wait till Spa to see what Ferrari's got. Apparently, they do have an upgrade package on the way.
Yeah.
And it's a major one. So
Yeah.
we will see.
And we will be able to come back next week and tell you all about it.
Absolutely.
So it's business as usual next week. So on behalf of myself, JB, and Longhorn, we're going to bid you adieu and good day. And we will see you next week for the Spa. Until then, it is goodbye.